Welcome back, everybody. It is Wednesday. Once again, that means we are here for another jump rope class all together, all at the same time. Today, we're doing a bunch of tricks to learn after you've learned cross. So a bunch of variations of cross, just like the next step. And we're going to do a fun workout with cross skills. So, I'm going to be using this rope right here. This is a long handle freestyle rope from Elite Jumps. Beaded, of course, because I love beaded ropes. Also, if you're just now learning jump rope, a beaded rope is the way to go. These skills are actually going to be easier in the future with a PVC rope, especially a thin one, as the rope will fly through really quick. But for the sake of learning and getting a feel for the rope, a beaded rope, you're going to pick up the skills much faster. All that to say, it is a workout too, so heavier ropes, got to get a better workout. You know, you could even be using like the Muay Thai rope today because we're not doing a lot of double unders or anything, so if you're feeling like you want to get super buff, go ahead and go for that Muay Thai rope. This is what I'm using today. Go ahead and grab some water, clear some space, and let's get things started. So, first thing we're going to do is warm up our crossing skills. If you clicked on this video, if you're watching this week, you've probably already learned a cross. So, we're just going to assume you've already gotten a cross for the first time. If you haven't yet, check out our other videos about how to get a cross for the first time. Otherwise, we're going to get things started. We're going to warm up with 20 crosses with the left hand on top, and then we're going to do 20 crosses with the right hand on top. We're going to do some more after that, but that's just how we're going to start. So I'm going to do open jump, cross, open jump, cross. I'm going to repeat with my left hand on top until I have completed 20. So go at your own pace. If you make a mistake, that's all right. Just get right back into it, and here we go. Now, I'm not going to be counting mine because I'm going to be talking to you all, so I'll just go until it feels like 20. Just a couple of things to remember as we go. You don't want to cross too big because then your hands come up like this. It's going to hit your shins, and you don't want to cross too small because if you're here, you're not going to fit through. So you're crossing here, you're pointing diagonally down toward your pockets. If you're holding a long-handled rope, or really any rope for that matter, you should be holding it like lower on the handle, right? If you're holding it up here, that's good for, you know, your usual jump if you're trying to go faster. But to get the extra reach for crosses, it's actually more efficient to hold the handle toward the bottom. So we're holding the handles toward the bottom like this. We're getting our crosses in. Once again, you don't need to jump super high as you're jumping, right? You're not kicking your feet back or forward or anything because we're just taking small jumps that are the height of the beads. No need to jump higher than that. And you hear me say it every week, but check your shoulders, right? They're not tense. Other tutorials always say, well, other jump rope tutorials always say to keep your shoulders relaxed. But the truth is they're not really relaxed, but they're not tense. They're not lifted, right? Because the lower your shoulders are, the lower your hands are going to be, the easier everything's going to be. So I say I've done plenty on that side. I'm going to switch to the right hand on top for a little bit. Whew. And some of you may be watching this and you haven't even tried a cross with the other hand on top before. Now is the perfect time to unlock that skill. Yeah, every jump rope trick you can really learn on both sides and forward and backwards. All the crosses. Alright, that feels like 20. There we go. Alright, here comes the fun challenges. Next, we're going to try to do 10 crosses in a row with no open jumps with the left hand on top. So take as many jumps as you need to get started, cross your hand on top, and then leave it on top, and we're going to try to jump 10 times in a row. If you make a mistake, it's alright, go ahead and just start over. Instead of continuing from where you left off, I want everybody to try their best to see how many they can get. We're going to give it some time to try to get to 10. If you already got to 10, go ahead, try it on the other side. Yes, crossing like that. You'll find that your arms, as they get tired, once they kind of pull apart, just keep them crossed extra just like this. And even though your hands are crossed, you're still turning with your wrists, right? Your whole arms, they don't need to move like this. You're going to get winded quickly. It's inefficient, higher risk of missing. Smaller crosses, or not smaller crosses, smaller movement with the wrists with a good sized cross. There you go. So if you already got your 10, try it on the other side. If you haven't got it, I want you to keep working on that right now. The next thing we're going to try, I'll give you a second to finish up your 10, is going to be a cross, open cross like what we did before, but on one foot. So we're going to do 10 open cross on the left foot. Okay, so I'm going to put my left hand on top, my left foot is going to go on the ground. So I'm going to do 10. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I always find that these ones are much harder, anything on one leg. But you don't realize how much you depend on both legs for jump rope until you start jumping on one. Very nice. And then the other side, of course, you can put whichever hand on top for these. I mean, it's really just the focus of the leg and the hands doing something at the same time that we're working on right now. So we're open cross on the other side, trying to get 10. This is probably one of the hardest ones we're going to do today, physically. A lot of it today is going to be a mental challenge as we are changing up what we're used to. All right, next one we're going to do after we've learned our cross is a good one to know, and that is toad. It's the under the leg cross. We're not going to shoot for a specific number. We're just going to try to get it under right now. A cross is like this. A toad is like this. You'll notice that my arms are doing essentially the same thing, it's just where my leg is. So as you bring the rope up over your head, you're crossing your arms just like normal, but now, as your arms are kind of activating in the air, your leg is activating from the ground, all three meeting to this position right here. So go ahead and just try that out. That's the right hand underneath of the left leg. Left hand is over top, like so. If you can do a cross, especially a cross on one leg, you can do the toad. So bring the rope over. I'm actually going to take one jump, just kind of get my rope going, cross my arms, and then back out. As you're crossing your arms, you're lifting your leg, you're jumping through. The rope actually goes under just that bottom foot, and you watch it go to the front, and then the same time you would open for cross, you open your arms for toad. Oops, didn't jump quite high enough. There it is. That is the toad. My big challenge, once again, of course, is to try it on the other side. So if you already got toad on that side, go ahead and try it on the other side. If you haven't got it yet, keep working. Just make sure that the opposite hand goes under the opposite leg there. So left hand's going under right, left hand's going under right leg, and right arm there. That is the toad. The next one we're going to learn, good skill to know after you've learned a cross, is going to be a backwards cross. You start with the rope in front of you, it comes up over your head, and you jump. As you land, you're crossing your arms. Now, we actually just went over this one last week because we were using it in some double under variations, so this is going to be a quick review. But as you land, you're crossing your hands. The number one mistake people make with backward cross is they lift their arms up because they see the rope going towards their head and they just want more clearance. What you need to do is trust the rope will go over you the same way that it did forward if you just cross your arms in the same spot and leave them. It'll make the jump through much easier because your rope is staying low, and that is backward cross right there. Okay. Next one we are going to try after you have learned a cross. A good one to know is a floater. It looks like this. You're going to cross. As the rope is coming out, I want you to go as slow as you possibly can. I mean, slow that rope down a ton. Like this. All right, not so slow that it falls down on you, but as slow as you can go without it losing the shape of the rope right there. When the rope passes your ears, you're going to let go of the bottom hand of the cross. So for me, that's going to be my right hand here. This hand, I'm letting go of the hand that's on the bottom. It's going to float next to me, and I'm going to switch and catch it on top of my other hand. So my left hand is not doing much at all, and my right hand is switching over to the top. Now, the secret for all these floater skills, especially when you're letting go of just one side, is to make sure that the other hand is matching the handle in the air. Now, if you keep pulling with the other hand, right, obviously it's going to whip the other handle out of your hand. But if you completely stop the other hand, the same thing will happen. The only way to keep that shape is to slow that rope down. Oh, I actually did the opposite right there. I did it the other way, but it's to slow the rope down and keep moving that handle next to it so it's on the same plane right there. So that is the floater cross to cross. If you've already got that one, right, and I imagine you can learn that one pretty quick. Now, floaters, of course, they're my favorite because they don't take a ton of energy. It's good for after the workout. But if you've already got your cross floater, one hand switching to the other hand, you can actually let go of both hands and catch it in open. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this one, you slow it down and switch to the open here, right? So I'm crossing, the rope stays the same, and I'm reaching out and grabbing the handles in the open position. Cross to open, cross to open. All these skills, if you are using a wire rope or a PVC rope, it is still entirely possible, but it's way easier with a beaded rope. So cross to open, cross to open. And you may have already thought ahead to this one, but any skill we've learned like this can be done the other way as well. So we can do open, release both handles to cross. Open, release both handles to cross. I feel like that's the trickier one to catch than the cross to open. Still looks super cool though. All right, the next one that I want us to try, let's see. We will start with the 360 to cross, and we'll build up from there. How it works is you're gonna jump, you're gonna do a side swing. I'm gonna go on my left. The rope's gonna come around to the front and jump through, okay? So if you're going to the left, you're jumping, you do a side swing to the left, I'm stepping forward kind of with my right foot just to kind of get my body ready to turn. And then I'm following that rope, it goes down, up, and down. Right? Down, up, and down. While you're spinning, it stays within your eyesight, but you don't want it to be flat. Because if it starts to spin flat like this, it's going to be hard to jump through at the end. So as you spin, make sure the rope is going down, it's staying on the same plane up, and then down to the front. Now, that front jump, here's where the cross comes in. We're going to jump through with our arms crossed. So we jump, we do the side swing all the way around, and cross. One more time there. So jump, spin all the way around, and cross. Very nice. And then we can actually do two of those in a row. So we jump, spin around, and cross, spin around, and cross. Very nice. And then this can be done faster or slower, right? Right now we're going at a very slow pace, we're watching the rope. But as you practice, you can do that at the same speed of your side swing, right? You can do side swing, cross. Whew, very dizzy combo. So go ahead, that's a whole bunch of cross variations for you to try. We will see you next week right here, next Wednesday, same time. Let us know in the comments which part was your favorite today, which part you think was the hardest, what parts you need more tips on. We'll go through, we'll respond to your comments. And I'll be here a second if anybody wants to ask any questions in the live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. So while I'm sticking around waiting for people to join the live, I can tell you about some cool jump rope news. So recently IJRU, that's the International Jump Rope Union, paired up with Double Dutch France, that's one of their competitive organizations out in France, made an appearance at Paris 2024 at the Olympics. They did a bunch of shows all over the Olympics, met with some members of the International Olympic Committee, just in talks about getting jump rope into the Olympics. Is a really cool milestone for the sport. They're definitely going to be thinking about jump rope a lot more. It was a great time. All right. No questions? I'll see you in the comments later, like usual, okay? See you next week, everybody.